Hello students, I am Dr. Pragati Jadhav and I am here to teach the paper PHCT 231, that is Physics of Semiconductor Devices, in which we will see the module number 2, PN junction. So before going to discuss the PN junction, one has to know about the semiconductor. The semiconductors are those materials which has the conductivity between metals and insulators. As the conductivity lies between metals and semiconductors, depending upon the purity or doping, these materials has some types. That is, first point of this module is types of semiconductors, in which there are two types. First is intrinsic semiconductor and second one is extrinsic semiconductor. So we will see these types one by one. So first is intrinsic semiconductor. When the material is perfect semiconductor, or there are no any impurities or lattice defects within the material, then this material is called intrinsic semiconductor. In intrinsic semiconductor, when temperature rises, the electron from valence band make transition to conduction band through band gap, which is denoted by Eg. So this is the valence band edge denoted by Vb, and this is the conduction band edge denoted by Cb. And after rise of temperature, the electron make transition from valence band to conduction band, leaving hole in the valence band. Hole is nothing but the deficiency of electron. So this transition of electron from valence band to conduction band can be seen in the broken bond model. That is, when electron from valence band make transition to conduction band, there is breaking of covalent bond. As intrinsic semiconductors are the pure semiconductors like silicon or germanium, and these semiconductors have 4 electrons in its outermost shell. So in order to complete its octet, other 4 electrons get shared and octet gets completed, and in this way the solid is formed. So this is the figure which gives the electron hole pair, electron hole pair in the covalent bonding model. Covalent bonding model of silicon crystal. So when we see this broken bond model, it is seen that when the electron from valence band make transition to conduction band, leaving hole there, the bond is broken and the electron become free. But in this model, the free electron get localized within the lattice. But this is the not actual situation. When electron make transition from valence band to conduction band, it is free to move within the crystal. So if we consider, that is N be the concentration of electrons in conduction band and P be the concentration of holes in valence band and Ni be the intrinsic carrier concentration, intrinsic carrier concentration then one may write N equal to P equal to Ni. This is the equation number 1. If Gi be the generation rate of electron hole pair and Ri be the recombination rate of electron hole pair, Gi be the generation rate of electron hole pair and Ri be the recombination rate of electron hole pair, then at thermal equilibrium this Gi be the equal to Ri. This is equation number 2. Or at any temperature, as the generation rate and recombination rate are the function of temperature, this Gi be equal to Ri. That is, if Gi be the function of temperature, Gi of T, and Ri be the function of temperature, that is Ri equal to Ri of T, then if temperature rises, the generation rate of electron and hole pair increases, and if temperature decreases, the generation rate as well as recombination rate decreases. So let's consider if N0 and P0 be the electron concentration and hole concentration at thermal equilibrium, then the recombination rate, which is denoted by Ri, Ri will be proportional to N0, that is electron concentration at thermal equilibrium. Also, this recombination rate will be proportional to P0, that is number of hole concentration at thermal equilibrium. So one may write Ri equal to alpha R N0 into P0, which is equal to Gi. This is equation number 3. So this alpha R is the constant of proportionality, and as N0 and P0 are the electron and hole concentration at thermal equilibrium, one may write Ri be equal to alpha R into Ni square. As the intrinsic carrier concentration is nothing but the concentration of electrons as well as concentration of holes in intrinsic semiconductor. So in place of N0 into P0, one may write Ni square. So this is all about intrinsic semiconductor. Next we will see about the extrinsic semiconductor. So as we know, the intrinsic semiconductor are those in which there is no any impurity or lattice defects, but in case of extrinsic semiconductor, the number of electrons or number of holes within the semiconductor at thermal equilibrium are not equal. That is, in extrinsic semiconductor, group 5 impurity or group 3 impurity is added to the semiconductor in order to get the properties which are different than the intrinsic semiconductor. So if the group 5 impurity is added or dropped into the pure semiconductor, then there will be predominance of electrons within the semiconductor, while when the group 3 impurity is introduced to the pure semiconductor, then there will be predominance of holes. So depending upon the impurity introduced to the pure semiconductor, there are two types of extrinsic semiconductor. First is N-type semiconductor and second is P-type semiconductor. So extrinsic semiconductor get divided into N-type semiconductor and P-type semiconductor. So this is another way in which the carrier concentrations within the semiconductor get slightly varied by the introduction of group 3 impurity or group 5 impurity. So the group 5 impurities are phosphorus, arsenic and Sd. These are the group 5 impurities in which in outermost shell there are 5 electrons. 5 electrons in outermost orbit, and group 3 impurity, the example is boron. Boron is the well-known example of group 3 impurity, in which there are 3 electrons in valence shell or valence orbit. So when the impurity is added to the pure semiconductor, then there will be the energy levels introduced within the forbidden gap, and due to which slight change in temperature, it will produce the or it will make ease to make transition from new energy levels to the conduction band very easily with slight change in temperature. So in case of n-type semiconductor, if this is the valence band edge, as there is one extra electron is introduced and which remain unbonded or loosely bonded with the pure semiconductor. So in forbidden gap, this extra electron creates the donor level, which is denoted by ED. So this is conduction band edge, and due to introduction of group 5 impurity within the pure semiconductor, there is formation of donor energy level, and this is the situation at 0K, T is equal to 0K. When the temperature is slightly increased, that is of the order of 50K, then this is the valence band edge. This is the conduction band edge, and the slight rise in temperature will help these electrons in donor energy level to make transition to the conduction band very easily with slight rise in temperature. So this is the situation at T is equal to 50K. So this is figure A. But when group 3 impurity is added to the pure semiconductor, the extra energy level which is introduced near to the valence band and which is the acceptor impurity. As group 3 impurity is added to the semiconductor, there are only 3 electrons in the outermost shell of the group 3 element. So if this is the valence band edge, this is the conduction band edge, and this is the acceptor energy level. Then at T is equal to 0K, sorry, this must be here. At T is equal to 0K, this is the situation when group 3 impurity is introduced to the semiconductor. And as due to Group 3 impurity introduction. There is one electron which is less in binding with the silicon atoms, that is pure semiconductor. There is introduction of acceptor impurity level, and this is the situation at T is equal to 0 K, when the temperature is slightly raised. So this is valence bandage, this is the conduction bandage. And this is the acceptor impurity level. Then with slight rise in temperature nearly equal to 50 K, the electrons from valence band make transition to acceptor impurity level. And this reaches to acceptor energy level within the forbidden gap. So in case of n-type semiconductor, N0, that is electron concentration at thermal equilibrium will be greater than Ni as well as P0, because group 5 impurity is added to the semiconductor. There will be number of electrons at thermal equilibrium will be more than that of intrinsic carrier concentration as well as carrier concentration of holes at thermal equilibrium, while in p-type semiconductor P0 will be greater than Ni as well as N0. As group 3 impurity is added to the p-type semiconductor, there are number of holes which is created in the valence band with slight rise in temperature. The carrier concentration of holes will be greater than intrinsic carrier concentration as well as the carrier concentration of electrons at thermal equilibrium. So this is the situation when the group 3 impurity is added to the semiconductor. Then we will see in crystal of pure semiconductor how we will see the picture looks when group 5 impurity and group 3 impurity is introduced within the semiconductor. the group bioimpurity like arsenium is added to the semiconductor. One extra electron which is loosely bounded to the crystal remain free to move when temperature is slightly increased. So one extra electron is remain free when group 5 impurity is introduced to the pure semiconductor, and if boron is introduced to the pure semiconductor, that is the group 3 impurity having 3 electrons in its outermost shell is introduced to the pure semiconductor, then there will be one hole is created. So in semiconductor, the holes as well as electrons take part in the conduction process when the semiconductor is extrinsic semiconductor. So this is the situation within the crystal. So this is all about the type of semiconductor, and with this I conclude this lecture. In next lecture we will see the direct bandgap semiconductor and indirect bandgap semiconductor. Thank you.